book of Habakkuk, the book of Zephaniah, and the book of Haggai. Let's get it. We start off with Habakkuk, or Habakkuk, whichever way you want to say it. I say it the Spanish way, Habakkuk. And when we go through Habakkuk, we basically are watching Habakkuk lose his marbles. He is having an argument with God. He is frustrated. He is upset because he doesn't understand what God is doing. He doesn't understand why Israel is just lost and confused, and they're just an utter disappointment at this point. And Habakkuk is arguing with God and just asking him, like, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about Israel? What is the solution here? And God tells him, hey, I'm going to use Babylon to destroy them. I'm going to use this wicked nation to destroy my nation. And then Habakkuk loses his mind again, and he starts to say, God, you need to explain this one to me, because why would you use a nation that's even worse than Israel to destroy Israel? Just to prove a point, the line that we see as we're reading this is that God would use even the wicked. He would use the lost. He would use the broken. He would use the shameful to bring about a point to redeem his nation. And so he would go about using some method that is disgusting or, off-putting, or maybe just not pleasant to look at, to try and save and redeem his people and to bring them back to a place of hope, which leads us straight into Zephaniah. Zephaniah starts to, be very poetic with the expressions of what God is trying to say, and basically going back and forth and relaying the same thing we've been hearing: the destruction and the gloom, the despair, the laments, the woes, but that there's hope at the end, that God is going to do something to redeem his people, to heal his people, and then to bring them to a place where they can be restored. And we see a lot of poetry, we see a lot of symmetry in what God is speaking, in the way that Zephaniah writes, where he basically rewrites Genesis 1 backwards, where he literally goes like, oh, everything was perfect and everything was good, and now we're going right back to the murky nothingness, and we're going to have nothing, and nothing is going to be our identity because we deserve nothing. Doom and gloom, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Haggai comes in, and when Haggai comes in, he just goes nuclear. Haggai is not advocating for us in any capacity. Haggai is like, let it all go. Burn it all down. We don't need any of this. Haggai happens during the time of Ezra, Nehemiah's time. Basically, in essence, we see that Haggai's like, I can't believe you guys are prioritizing your own selves over rebuilding and getting yourselves right with God. And we see that symmetry with basically him correcting them, saying, you're deciding to rebuild your houses and do all these things before you build the temple. Let's change that perspective. Let's get right with God first and let God bless us so that we can then work on our homes. And it's pretty simple, right? It seems like a good idea. Maybe I should honor God and be obedient to God and restore my relationship with him before I get to this next phase. But yet, that's not what the people were thinking. That's not what the people wanted. The people wanted to live in their sin, and Haggai was calling it out. Haggai ends the same way Zephaniah did, and he says, you know what? We're going to try and fail, and we're going to need to see hope later in the kingdom, and we're going to have to see hope later. But right now, we're not there yet. We're going to rebuild just for somebody else to come and destroy what we're building. And so we move forward. That's everything I have for you guys today. Catch you on the next one.